Have you ever held a letter that made your hands tremble, not from fear, but from love? Today, I'll share the story of an 84-year-old woman who wrote one letter every Sunday for 30 years and why her words still echo in hearts across oceans. In a world full of texts and notifications, we often forget what it means to truly connect. But this woman, she remembered, and what she remembered, she wrote, and what she wrote changed lives. Her name was Margaret. She lived in a quiet English town with a garden full of roses and a heart full of stories. In her younger days, Margaret had met Helen, an American nurse during the war. They were only friends for a short while, 2 years at most, but their bond was immediate, like two souls that had met before. When the war ended, Helen returned to the U.S., and life as it does got busy. Marriages, children, work, grief, recovery. But Margaret made a decision. Every Sunday, no matter what, she would write Helen a letter. One page, sometimes two, always handwritten, always heartfelt. The world around her evolved. People moved on to emails, phones, video chats. But Margaret never stopped writing. Even when arthritis stiffened her fingers, even when her eyesight began to blur, even when Helen stopped replying for months at a time, she never stopped. And that was the challenge. To love without expectation, to give without receiving, to write without reply. Margaret once said, "It's not the reply that matters, it's the remembering. It's the knowing that once a week you pause your world and think of someone else's." Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you did something for someone, just to remind them they matter? Her letters weren't long essays. They weren't poetry or dramatic stories. They were slices of life, a poem she found, a memory that floated up, a recipe for lemon cake. Sometimes just a simple message. "I hope the sun is shining where you are." Over the years, Helen began replying again. Not regularly, but enough. In one of her letters, Helen wrote, "Your words arrived like warm tea on a cold morning. I read them slowly, like I'm sipping from the past." And then, when Margaret was 74, something happened. Helen came to visit. After almost 40 years, they sat in the garden under the shade of a cherry tree. Two women with silver hair and wrinkled hands. No cameras, no phones, just tea, just laughter. Just the kind of silence that only exists between people who truly understand one another. Helen passed away just 2 years after that visit, and Margaret continued to write. Yes, even after Helen was gone. You see, it wasn't just a habit, it had become a ritual, a part of her. She would write the letter, place it in an envelope, and tuck it inside an old wooden drawer. She wrote every Sunday until she turned 84. That year, her daughter, Emma, discovered the drawer. Inside, there were 1,508 letters, each carefully dated, each signed with love. Emma asked her mother why she continued, and Margaret smiled, her voice like leaves rustling in autumn. She said, "Because I don't write to be heard. I write so that love has somewhere to land." There's something profoundly beautiful in Margaret's story. In a world that teaches us to expect instant replies, instant results, instant recognition, Margaret lived by an older rhythm, a gentler one, a wiser one. She taught us that presence isn't always physical, that consistency is its own kind of love language, that true friendship is showing up again and again, even when no one claps. Many of us lose friends as we age, not because we stop caring, but because we stop reaching. Margaret never stopped. Her story isn't just about writing letters. It's about choosing love over loneliness, commitment over convenience, depth over speed. And now her letters sit in a museum in her hometown, not because she was famous, but because she was faithful, because she proved that small acts, done regularly, can become sacred. So if you're watching this today and there's someone you haven't spoken to in a while, someone who used to be close, someone who meant something, write the letter, send the message, pick up the phone, show up, even if just in words. Because someday someone will say of you, they loved quietly, but they loved deeply. If Margaret's story touched your heart, share this video with someone you miss. Leave a comment below. Tell us about a friendship that changed your life, or someone you wish you could talk to again. And if you enjoy stories like this, of gentle wisdom, real emotion, and the kind of truths that only time can teach, subscribe to this channel. You're not just watching stories, you're joining a family, a quiet one, but full of wisdom. Until next time, be kind, be present, and don't wait to love out loud.